Good morning, sunshines. It's Saturday, I believe. I already know the day because we have weekend medication, so we're still going live today. John Carroll's ready to be in this. He's ready to rock. The boys are inside. You can go in there. I like to start off with fashion advice. Sesame Street t-shirts, sweats, when you've already been barked on multiple times. This is what you end up wearing by this time of the day. So good morning, sunshines. As you jump on, say good morning, sunshine, or hashtag GMS. We go live on a regular basis to talk about perspective, basically. This is what I'm discovering. It's all about perspective to alter the way that you live your life, right? And we're doing we're doing so through a scenario of different stories, really about what I go through in my life, sharing, and then you guys making commitments to do some things maybe differently, or just consider doing them a little bit differently in your world. So as you jump on, say good morning, sunshine, hashtag GMS, then share with me if this is a rewatch. If you watch later on, just write rewatch. I love to see like who comes on later and who's live. And then anything that you're grateful for today. Anything that makes you smile, right? I am grateful for a cool breeze and early mornings because it is just hot right now in Colorado. And I know it's way hotter for some of you guys, but like none of us like the heat, let alone Whit and John can't even go outside when it's hot because like his medications, he gets sunburned, and his diabetes insipidus just makes him like a little bit whack. So anyways, grateful for cool air. What are you guys grateful for? Then we're going to talk about a subject, right? So today's live. Don't be a DICK. I didn't say it, right? You don't know what the other person's going through. And I'm going to talk about my situation, and you can apply it to your situation in your life because this is something that all of us need to hear, right? Good morning, sunshine, Terry. I hope that you see so many angels again today, right in here, right? And do your 3 little butterflies for Whit and John if you guys are watching for Whit and John here. Okay, so yesterday was just like an off day. We're only on day, I think 7 of like going through and being home on chemo. Like we were at the hospital on chemo at first. So like us managing life at home, we're just like a week in right now. And it's every day seems to be unique, right? It's like this wave. Like one day is like phenomenal. The next day we're like, what is happening? Then the next day we're like, oh my gosh, you slept. And the next day we're like, what's happening? So yesterday was a what's happening day. And Witten was just out of sorts. He was frustrated. I think that he was roid raging. He'd get aggravated. He didn't want to eat. Then he wanted to eat. We're like, it's time for bed. It's 7 p.m. last night. And he's like, it's not time for 7 p.m. for bed. I want to eat cottage cheese now. So he eats like a load of cottage cheese. And he's like, now it's time to poop. And I'm like, it's not time to poop. It's time to sleep. And he's like, yes, it's time to poop. And he poops 2 times. We're like, yes, at least he pooped. And like, we go through this whole thing where now he's in bed an hour and a half after he takes his medication, which we like to be right after, like at 7, but he goes to bed at 8:30. We put him in bed. And then at 3:30 this morning, at 12, I'm like looking at him and he looks fine. He's just laying there. And I'm like, oh, should I go in? Should I not go in? I should have gone in PS, but I didn't. So I go in at 3:30. Baby boy is soaking wet. We have the lights off because I'm going to try to like change the bedding, put him back in bed, give him his like little drink to refill because he had his big output, which is where he has his big pee, which is a part of the diabetes insipidus disease. So anyways, he has his big pee. I'm going to put him back in bed, but he's like, no, booba, booba, booba. And he's just freezing. He's shivering because I don't know how long he's like laying there wet. Right. So I bring him downstairs. We're watching Booba. He barfs all over me once. We lay back down. He barfs all over me again. I go upstairs to get new pants. I discover that his bed's covered in barf. And I'm like, what is this little boy going through? Right. And throughout this journey, this is applicable to you guys because throughout this journey, we don't know what's happening in Whit and John's little body and in his world. We don't have complete communication with him. He doesn't know what nauseous is. He doesn't know how to say he feels sick, right? We don't know like if the roid rage is making him frustrated in different ways. He can't share those things with us. So we don't know what's happening in his little world. And sometimes we have to check ourselves because we can get frustrated. Why are we screaming? Why are we crying? It's 3 a.m. We need to go back to sleep. And with that, you have to take a step back and be like, I don't know what's happening in his world. Maybe it's time for just a little bit of love and light. Maybe not even empathy because I can't empathize because I don't know what it feels like, right? Just love and light. Good morning, sunshines, Terry, Annie. How are you guys? So with that, this is super easy and applicable to your worlds. Okay, this is going to be short and sweet. In your world, you cross paths with people who have things going on in their lives and you don't know because you don't have open communication with them. It could be the person who's serving you at a restaurant, right? Maybe their service isn't the best. Maybe they're a little rude. They're a little short. You're like, that's not how you should be treating me. I'm your patron, right? Or maybe the person at the phone store, they're not quite treating you correct. Or you call a customer service rep and they're having a bad day. Or you speak with, someone like just whatever. And they're not how you think they should act. And you get all pissed off. And then you start being a DICK because you're mad that they're mad. You don't know what other humans are going through. And there are times where you could be crossing paths with someone and maybe they're a little shorter. They're not as loving. They're not as open. Maybe they don't make eye contact that day. Maybe they don't answer maybe it's somebody you do know, but they don't answer a text message, or they don't have that happy voice when they call you back. They could be going through some stuff in their life right now. And it's challenging for them. And here you are showing up being a DICK because you expect them to show up a certain way, but you don't know what's happening in their world. And I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking to all of us, right? Where if instead we could approach other humans in our life and in our world with light and love, no matter what. Good morning, Amy. Thank you so much for that. No matter what. Good morning, Nanette. So, no matter what, like, yes, they're not being ideal. When it's so funny. So for me, when somebody is bitter towards me, or I'm not like, I don't know, like it's not like the best attitude that you'd like to see, my response is usually like a kill them with kindness. I smile bigger. I'm extra nice. I look for even more compliments. And it's almost like a game. Like, can I turn this person's day into a little bit sweeter of a moment? Because they're obviously going through something. I want to know if you guys have ever encountered this personally, whether maybe you've seen it in somebody else, you could tell you were having a bad day, so you were just kinder to them, or yes, it did affect you. Or have you ever been having one of those moments? Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Kylie, my love. Good morning, Sarah. Where you were like, I was having a rough day, and then everybody else is throwing me back too, because we give back what we receive often, right? And it's not helping anybody. So, and don't forget to share your gratefuls. Thank you so much, Nanette. Love you so much. What could you do different? Just today, what could you do different? Could you commit to smiling more, to providing a little bit more of that space where your chest is open, your shoulders are back, your chin's high, and you're just offering the world love and light, no matter how they're showing up to you? Because guess what? They might need that smile. Your smile, your hug, your light, your compliment, despite their attitude in that minute, could completely change their perception of the day. Remember, this is all about perception, you guys, and walking through life with a different type of perspective can completely change your world. If you're committed, at the end of these, we always commit, right? So I'm committed to not being a DICK, right? To smiling more, however you want to state that is perfect, or just say I'm committed, and you know that you're going to walk through at least today in a little bit of a different space when you are encountered with people like that. Just remember, guys, you don't know what's going on in their world, right? If you see someone without a smile, give them yours. Oh, Dolly Parton, I love her. That's what this should have been called. Ricky, see, you should be over here. You should be coming over here and doing these with me. My smile is crazy now. Yes, but that's important. Like, you still smile with a crazy stash. Grateful for friends. Casey, thank you guys. Thank you guys for interacting on here. Remember, wait for Whit and John, do your 3 butterflies. Those are always prayers in our heart for him and for him to be feeling good. There's no update outside of that, you guys. Crazy day, lots of barfs, lots of roid rage. Don't really have any idea what's happening in our world. We're attempting to give him 4 vials of medicine right now and see if he barfs it up. So, good morning, sunshines. If you see me around today, you might be seeing me like crying or smiling or I don't know what, but all the light and love to you and all the light and love to the world, you guys. Thank you, God, for this moment, for this exact moment, for all of my friends, for all of my family, for all of the health that we do have. I was laying there while we were doing barfing everywhere, and I was like, man, I'm so thankful that Witten has the ability to barf, because that would be bad if he didn't, if he was like sick. I'm so thankful he doesn't have a fever. I'm so thankful for a washing machine because we're on a 3rd load of wash. So thankful for so many things, you guys. So pause in those moments and give gratitude. I love you so much. Have a beautiful Saturday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.